Art may or may not make the world more beautiful, but one should choose a career in at least one profession other than art. Why? Like, I want a career in art. Whatever, let's see. Whether and how much artists get paid is determined by subjective evaluations by viewers or audiences of their work. It is unacceptable for one's pay to be determined by subjective evaluations of one's work. Okay, why is that unacceptable? I feel like this is coming out of left field. Like who determines that that's unacceptable to be paid by that evaluation? I'm like, okay, let's see. All right, so what is our conclusion here, Brittany?
That it's unacceptable.
Yes. And the one thing is I like to put in here is whenever we have may, you also say may not. It's a trick, right? Like, because it may happen or it may not happen. Like, we don't know which way it's going, so just remind yourself of that. But we're saying one should choose a career in some profession other than art. Oh, wait, is that really our conclusion, Brittany?
Okay,
wait, no. You should choose a career in some profession other than art.
I highlighted both
because it's unacceptable.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a subsidiary conclusion going on here. So we're saying that, we're saying it's unacceptable, or one should choose a career other than art because it's unacceptable to be paid based on someone's. Okay, so what is the flaw here, Brittany? What are we failing to consider, or what are we assuming?
So they're assuming that you can't be successful, or like you can't make money at this career, or that you can't.
Well, I think you're taking it too far. They're not.
Oh.
Like, are they saying that we can't make money? Okay, we're saying you should choose a profession other than art because it's unacceptable for one's pay to be determined by subjective evaluations. Is that good reasoning to have to pick another career other than art?
No, not really. I mean, it might be one reason, but it's...
Okay, so Malika, what was your prediction here?
So I highlighted both those sentences and I wasn't really sure which one was the conclusion for this one, but I think it makes sense that they're basing that you shouldn't be in art because your career is based off of someone else's evaluation. So that's just like one factor, and it's kind of a flimsy factor to say you shouldn't do anything in art. And like,
I'm thinking they're assuming that most careers or other careers that are acceptable aren't based on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say my career is based on subjective evaluations to an extent. Like, or I'm thinking, yeah, or the one factor thing, or it's that maybe they get paid more, like maybe like they're good enough to this. Yeah, all of these things, like that's not excellent. So let's go ahead and start with A, Brittany.
Takes for granted that people should choose careers solely on the basis of how much they pay. So I don't think it's saying that, though. I don't think it's basing it solely on the basis of how much they pay.
I agree. I probably would have, to be honest, I probably would have left this one open right away, but circled solely and been like, I think we're saying it's the most important kind of ish, but we're not saying it's the only thing. What did you?
Solely in another is another word for only, right?
Yeah, the career's only on this basis. Like, right. We're not saying it's the only thing. We're just saying it's like a really important thing.
Right. Okay.
All right. What about B, Malika?
I crossed this one out. Takes for granted that a work of art will be considered beautiful either by everyone or by no one. That I don't think that's happening.
It assumes that a work of art will be considered beautiful either by oh yeah, we don't, it's not a this is like a false dichotomy, right? It's either everybody's gonna love your work or nobody's gonna love your work. No, not at all. All right, what about C, Brittany?
Overlooks the possibility that one's pay in any profession involves a certain degree of subjective evaluation.
So what does overlooks the possibility mean?
It ignores or like forgets about.
I love that. I've never heard, I always say doesn't think about. I love the word ignores there. ignores.
That one's pay in any profession involves a certain degree of subjective evaluation. Oh, yeah. Okay. It kind of does do that. I mean, since we had the conversation about everybody's job to an extent could
Okay.
have subjective evaluation, maybe. So maybe I would probably leave that one.
All right, so let's go on to D, Brittany.
Overlooks the possibility that some artists are paid very well. Okay, I don't think that matters.
What do you think, Malika, about D?
I crossed this one out. I don't think it matters either.
Yeah, because we don't care about being paid very well, right? That's not our issue. Our issue is like, oh, you don't want to go into a career that is subjected to evaluations of one's work. And like just because one person, like, oh yeah, I don't think this person's saying like there's not one person out there that can be successful as an artist. He's just saying that that's not a good career for overarching facts. All right. And then what about D, Brittany?
Oh, okay. So E is the one that tripped me up because I had to really think about this one. All right. So it treats a criterion that must be satisfied in order for a career choice to be a good one as a criterion that will ensure that a career choice is a good one.
Okay. So explain to me where the conditions are in this answer choice.
Okay. So it treats a criterion. So the criterion is that subjective evaluations.
Wait, hang on one second. Don't go there.
Oh.
What kind of flaw is answer choice EX?
Oh, this one's a sufficient necessary.
But which way?
Oh, must be satisfied in order. Must is so necessary for sufficient.
Yeah, so it treats a necessary condition as if it's sufficient.
Yeah.
All right, and so what is the condition that we're saying is necessary in our argument? Do we have one?
Would it be the career? I just remember reading this answer choice and thinking like, oh, this is something me and Brittany would have like an issue with because like that's what we were
Because like I'm sending vibes your way.
yeah, like that last class we were going over this stuff and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go with C because E just like
Do we have any conditional logic going on in our statement at all?
technically no, but like when I was reading
No! Like what are we saying is needed for what?
I thought it was like money and like whether and how much artists get paid was the criterion that had to be satisfied.
No, I thought that also. And I literally think
And then we think that the money is sufficient for what? Like, and think about it in relationship to our conclusion. Our conclusion is one shouldn't choose a career in art. Like, what are we saying is necessary that is sufficient for us not choosing a career in art?
I don't know. Not getting paid.
Like, if you want to help me come up with, like, I get what you're saying about how it feels like things are coming up as necessary. Like, oh, well, we don't want to have subjective evaluations. But if anything, this person thinks that not having subjective evaluations is sufficient to not have a career in art. But we don't act as if that is needed.
Okay, so question. So would you have crossed this one out just on the like maybe not just on the basis, but like the strong basis that you didn't see any conditional logic like keywords or anything like that within your stimulus?
Like I didn't even and I don't like if I don't feel I can feel conditional logic when it's in the stimulus. Can you?
Yeah, usually. But this, I guess I was just trying to fill in my blanks and I made it in my head work. So I was like, yeah, it's E. It's definitely E. I made this like because I hadn't filled in what I thought the word.
Okay, look how strong this is, Brittany. Will ensure that a career choice is a good one. Like, what is going to ensure that a career choice is a good one?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You struggle with this answer.
Money, I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I think I remember you saying that like a lot of the time they try to use like the sufficient necessary flaw as like a trick answer choice.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't find it, don't go. I love it.
Okay.
I love it because I love us getting more common to flaws because like, when we know it's a flaw, we'll see it. But now you can go through wrong answer choices so quickly when you're like, okay,
Right.
that literally, like I know what answer choice that is referring to, and that's not what we're talking about. We're then back to C. One's pay, yeah, he ignores the fact that one's pay in any profession could have some level of subjective evaluation. Yeah, he literally ignores that. So obvious. I don't mean it
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
awesome.